Oh boy, this one is going to get messy, guys. I started on Emily's prompts for this week, and I was working on it. The color was purple, which I did not have hardly any purple scraps. This is kind of what I had. I don't use purple a lot. I don't like the color purple. It's fine. I mean, it's not something that I usually pick. So I'm glad to be, pushed a little out of my comfort zone. Well, I definitely was pushed out of my comfort zone today. I started working on this, and I kind of glanced at the prompt list, and it was purple and folded and, those things. And this is where I started at, and I thought, well, that's kind of neat. I like that. I had these ghost flowers, I think is what they're called, plastic embellishments from Heidi Grace, and I had a couple of those, and I thought, well, I'll put that on there. That'll be a little more purple, and this is more of an eggplant, I guess, than a purple, but it's still in the purple family. So I was just cruising right along, and I glanced at my list again, and I thought, oh crud, I don't have a file folder. I have not planned how I'm going to use a napkin in all of this. So I checked this and I started over. Then, I don't know why, as women, we find it so difficult to define ourselves, or not define ourselves, but to describe ourselves. I do, anyway. Maybe you guys don't, but that is a character flaw that I have. I have not low self-esteem, but I just don't think about myself that much. Anyway, so I decided, okay, I had a purple file folder, a big file folder. So I decided I was going to cut it down, and I used my Cricut, and I made these little file folders. Really cute little file folders. And I went ahead and cut 6 of them. And I thought, okay, now what will I do with it? And I asked my husband if he would give me 6 words to describe me. And he gave me some words. He gave me loyal and faithful, courage, peaceful, loved, and strength. And when he said strength, it triggered a memory that I had from about 14 years ago. And I changed everything. I decided, I am going to use one of these file folders, but not in the way I had thought. I was going to put like the words that he gave me, loyal and faithful and all of that, on these, and somehow make either a scrapbook layout, or it had to be ephemera. I knew that. So that's where the dilemma was. And so I chucked that. Decided not to do that. I was going to do journaling cards, and I had this gray paper that I thought would look good with this eggplant color. And I thought, okay, well, I'll make journaling cards out of this, and I'll, fold a piece down, and I'll cover it with a napkin. That flew out the door. I have just struggled all evening with this. So then I thought, well, I'm going to look through my napkins first. And I found this napkin. And the colors are right, for what I was trying to do. And I thought, okay, I've got the purple file folder. I was going to use one of these. It's purple, and it's a file folder made from a file folder. I've got my napkin. The tool, I knew wouldn't be a problem about, figuring out what to do there. Folded, a little bit of a problem, but then I realized, it's a file folder. It's folded, so I'm going to count that. And then came the description about me. And I chose to use that strength. that my husband had given me. Here is my file folder. I went ahead and used the Uhu stick, I think that's how you say that, to put the napkin on here. So I'm going to cut this out, and I'll fast forward through this cutting part. You guys don't have to sit and watch me do that. Okay, so there that is. And now I have my purple. I have my file folder twice, actually. I've got the napkin. I've got the folded. Whoops, I've got a little bit of napkin hanging out here. Okay, and then the tulle. So I had this little, get it up here, this little cluster that I had made. It's hard to see, but it does have tulle around it, just a little. And I thought, well, that's not much, so I'm going to go ahead and add this tulle to it as well, so that you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to scuff that up with a little bit of brown ink, though, because I think it just looks a little bit too white there. Okay, so there's that. And I've got my file folder, and I'm going to turn my file folder into a pocket. So I'm going to ink these edges up a little, just because I like things a little on the vintage side. Okay, and now it's going to become a pocket. I'll move this piece of paper before I ruin it. All right. So there's my pocket. And now comes the what became a little more sentimental for me. I have learned through the years that at any time when my scrapbooking, or now my junk journaling, becomes something that can help me find healing in my life, I'm going to take that opportunity, and I did with this today. I was all by myself all day long, and just memories kept flooding through my mind, and this is the direction it took me. And if you've ever struggled with grief, the way that I look at it, anything that I can do that's going to help me to work through more grief, I'm going to go with it, because I believe that God means for us to feel that grief at times, and He allows us to heal at other times. So today, I'm feeling that grief. So my word, or my about me, is strength, because that was one of the words that my husband had given me. And so I've made this into a pocket, and I have this little letter that I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to put this on the edge of it somehow. I hope I'm going to be able to, so that you can pull it in and out. And I am going to read to you what it says. I once asked Gary, when was the time that you was the most proud of me? What I expected was when we were married, or when I gave birth to our 3 children. What he said surprised me. He said, when we lost Josh, because I couldn't be the strong one for our family, because I was too broken. And although you was just as broken, you stepped up and carried us all through. I reminded him that it was our faith in God that had carried us through. And he said, yes, but you became the willing vessel. I love this man so much. This is Josh. This was our son. He was 19. And in a 4-wheeler accident right outside the house, my husband was actually standing out in the yard and saw the accident happen. He popped over an embankment and a car hit him. So this has been a healing experience for me. I apologize for getting weepy or being emotional, but this one is, it was a tough one, but it feels good to get through. It really does. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting this together, and then I will show you guys the end result. All right, here is the finished project. It has, okay, it's got the purple, which is the file folder that I used. It has a file folder because I cut a tiny file folder out of a bigger file folder. It has the tool here. It has the napkin here. And about me is the story that I just shared with you guys, and the picture of my son. And I'm sorry if it was too emotional or too much. I really am sorry, but like I said before, I have learned that anything I do, whether it's in my crafting or in my everyday life, that's going to help me to gain more healing, then I do it without, you know, apologies or without thought. And I appreciate you guys hearing my heart today. And Emily, bless your heart, I appreciate you doing these challenges. These prompts are great, and I kind of like the purple on this one. So have a great day.